Good morning, everyone. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about electric traction. What are the advantages of electric traction instead of previously we are using a steam engine and internal IC combustion. IC means internal combustion drives we used. As far as the technology develops, again we also changed into an electric traction system. Due to this electric traction system, we are having some advantages as compared to steam engine and IC engines. IC engine is nothing but internal combustion engines or combustion drive. The main advantages of this electric traction is nothing but the first advantage we are having, it is having a cleanliness, and then we are having it is having a high starting torque, and the speed control of this trains, it is an easy, that is an simple, and braking also simple. By regenerative braking can be pumped back into the supply and saving the electrical energy. It is having a less maintenance. The steam locomotive we can put into it service immediately. The coefficient of adhesion is high. Center of gravity is lower than the steam locomotive. Hence it runs faster at curved routes, saving high grade of coal and diesel. So that if we save the high grade of coal, that can be useful for some other purposes. So that because of these advantages, we are going to use for an electric traction system. The disadvantages of electric traction system is high capital cost. That means the electrification, the track electrification is very important. Whenever you are going to use track electrification, it always depends upon high capital cost, initial cost it will be required for an overhead supply system. If the power failure for few minutes can cause dislocation of traffic for hours. Only for example, if the power will be lost for 10 minutes, it will be we are getting a traffic, so that we have to stay within hours together. The communication lines get interference. Whatever the communication lines are will be going to be an interference. The system of electric traction, we can use DC system or single phase low frequency AC system, single phase high frequency AC system, three phase system, composite system we can use. At present, composite system is used for power supply. Composite system are two types: Kando system, single phase to three phase system, single phase to DC system also we can use. The voltage is 25 kilovolt 50 hertz supply, that is converted to three phase at low frequency by the converter inside the locomotive. On top of the locomotive we are having a converter box. At that particular converter, it will be going to be changes from one level of voltage to another level. And the three phase induction motor is used at low frequency due to the following advantages. It draws less current. We are going to use preferably three phase induction motor. It will be draws less current, improves the efficiency, speed controller is easy. Advantages and disadvantages of 25 kilovolt 50 hertz supply. Due to high voltage supply, the line current is less, which will reduces the cross section of the conductor and makes the supporting structure light. It savings the substation. Track is the return conductor. Coefficient of adhesion is high. The disadvantages of this 25 kV 50 Hz system is that single phase AC system traction produces both voltage and current unbalance. So special care are to be taken. Current unbalance produces heating in the alternator. Voltage unbalances produces heating on the induction motor. gives the interference to the communication line, produces the harmonics. There are three main types of traction systems are there. First one, we are having an urban services, which we call it as a local trains. How we are going to justify, how we are going to tell whether it is an urban service or not means, if the distance is less than 10 kilometer, then we call it as an urban services. Suburban services is nothing but 2.5 to 3 kilometers, 3.5 kilometers, that we call it as a suburban services. And then mainline services is nothing but intercity train and goods train if the distance is more than 10 kilometers. These are the different types of tractions we are having. Suburban, which is having a high acceleration is required, and urban services less than 10 kilometer, for main services greater than 10 kilometer. Goods train services also three types: mainline freight service, local freight service, shunting services. In India, locomotives are classified according to the track gauge, motive power, the work they are suited for, and their power model number. The gauges will be going to be classified like that. W stands for Indian broad gauge, 5 feet to 6 inches. Y meter gauge, Y stands for yard gauge, 3 feet or 1000 mm. Z means narrow gauge, 2 feet to 6 mm. The motive powers, the second letter, it will be stands for diesel. C means DC electric, A means AC electric, CA means composite, both DC and wave, and B stands for battery electro locomotive. Job, third letter, G goods, P passenger, M mixed. We are going to see in these type of four letters denoted on the locomotive's chronology model number. And the fourth WDM3A stands for example, W means broad gauge, D is diesel, M is suitable for both passenger and goods train, 3A is locomotive power is 300 horsepower, 3 stands for 3000 horsepower, A stands for 100 horsepower and more. The speed time curve for train movement we are having. This is that main services. In the main services, what we are having, free running period is more, but in the case of suburban services, we are not having any free running period. That means the speed time curve of suburban and urban services almost will be the same. The mainline services we are having a free running period too. In this first case, the speed time curve acceleration, 1 stands for acceleration with constant current. That means initially we are going to start the train. That period, for some period we are going to give the acceleration to run the train. That particular time period we call it as a notching period, or also call it as a constant torque region. Once if you are giving the acceleration, then it will be going with some constant voltage. That too will start, we call it as an acceleration with the constant voltage. After some time, it will be reaching with a free running period. That means we are going to maintain a speed constant, and after that we are going to stop. I want to stop the train, so that immediately we are going to power off the switch, even though the train will be going to run with power cut off. That we call it as a coasting period. After coasting period, we are going to apply the brake. That particular time period we call it as a braking period, or which we are also call it as a retardation. How you are going to calculate distance and speed calculation for curve? The simplified version of curve is drawn for mainline services for calculation of speed time curve. This curve shows that for mainline services, why we are going to draw like this mainline services means Here in mainline services, as we know that we are having a more free running period, but in the case of urban and suburban services, we are not having a free running period, even though it is a very less, so that we are not going to consider. Here O to S stands for acceleration period, A to B we call it as a free running period, and B to C we call it as a braking period. Here all I have mentioned that 0 A D B E C. How we are going to find out that total distance travel, or how much time it will be required to reach from O to C. Now let us consider the D. Capital D is a distance between the two stations. Capital T is nothing but running between the two stations in seconds. Let alpha be the acceleration in kilometer per hour per second. Beta is the retardation in kilometer per hour per second, and Nm is the maximum speed in kilometer per hour, and Na is the average speed in kilometer per hour. We know that acceleration alpha is equal to, what is the definition of an acceleration is nothing but speed travel divided by, that means in a time how we are going to, acceleration alpha is equal to speed into time. What is the speed here? I am going to consider maximum speed is an nm, and the time is an t1. From that acceleration is nothing but speed into time. From that I calculated t1. Here t1, at the time t1, what is the maximum speed it reaches? Nm, that is an nm, that is an nm. At t1, from 0 to t1 it will be reaches to a maximum speed of nm. That means t1 is alpha is equal to nm into t1. From the t1 is equal to nm by alpha, nm by alpha, time of acceleration. And similarly, what is the retardation means from C to B, braking period, t3. What is the t3 here? That retardation also, retardation is equal to t3 into nm, maximum speed. From that beta is equal to, we are getting t3 is equal to t3 is equal to nm by beta, that we call it as a time of retardation. Now how we are going to find out the total distance can be formulated from the above curve is that we need to take that area of the triangle OAD. What is the area of the triangle OAD? Is nothing but half into height is nothing but maximum speed nm, half into nm into t1. In the place of t1 you need to substitute nm by alpha. Similarly, plus what is the this thing we are having, ab, from the square a b d e, we are getting what is the maximum speed is nm, and what is the height is nm, and depth is t2. That means the area of this triangle is nm into t2, and this area of the square is nm into t2. This area of the triangle is nm into t3 into half. If you are substituting all these values, then you are getting the total distance d is equal to maximum speed by 3600 into t minus nm into k in kilometer. This is for which type of services? This is a mainline services. In this we are going to focusing on free running period. In the case of normal services, we are not having any free running period, so that this curve will be look like such a trapezoidal curve. Now coming to a quadrilateral speed time curve, which is useful for urban and suburban services. Why? Because once if you are giving the acceleration, immediately we are going to apply that braking, so that in this case we are not having any uh, we are not having any free running period. Now I am considering this is a quadrilateral speed time curve. We call it as a beta is a retardation, and beta c is a coasting retardation, and alpha is an acceleration. From this, how we are going to find out an beta is nothing but from n1, that means the maximum speed I am considering an n1, and the remaining speed I am going to consider it as an n2. Here also we are going to follow the same thing. Now how you are going to find out the total distance of time is distance is nothing but first the triangle OAD. After that triangle, whenever you are taking up to n2, this AB and this particular point you need to consider the triangle and that's rectangular and then triangle. These here we are going to get four terms. Then you need to add all that things and then you are getting an a distance D. For example, if you are taking the triangle BT3C, then what is the area of that particular triangle? N2 into half into T3. T3 means what is the T3 value you need to substitute. Next, what is an average speed and schedule speed? The average speed of a train is defined as the ratio of the distance between the consecutive stations to the time taken by the train to travel the distance. That means for an average speed, we are going to consider only the running time of the train only. If it is stops, for example, if the train stops for 10 minutes, that time we are not going to find out, we are not going to consider. Average speed is nothing but the distance between the two stations by the time taken by the train to travel the distance. Schedule speed, in the schedule speed what we are going to consider, the schedule speed is defined as the distance between two consecutive stations to the actual time of run and time for stop also. What is the very, if the train will be, for example, if the train is running for 50 minutes and it will be stops for 10 minutes, in this case we can take total time 50 plus 10. But in the case of average speed we are going to consider only 50 seconds only. These are the trapezoidal and speed quadrilateral speed time curves. Trapezoidal speed curve is useful for only for mainline services. Quadrilateral curve is useful for suburban and urban services only.